Bill, there you go, mate. They've been waiting for this, so yeah, we'll get it out of the way. Right, first I thought I'd show you quickly how everything's put together. So I started off with just 4 channels, so don't worry about the rest of that. It's just all duplicated over. So I started off with 4 channels. Used an ARP just to bounce in between them both, as you already sort of know. So this ARP is just going straight into a pan, which, as you can see, it has one and two, and then -1, -2. So it's just split in between these 4 different channels. And then all these different things are just converting notes to pan, and then pan to volume, and that's kind of how the way I sort of threw it all together. And then that ARP is just being thrown straight onto a channel here. So if I just get rid of this, so this ARP here and these notes control which audio channel's playing. So again, if I get rid of that, go back to the mixer, or press play. So that ARP is actually, like, when you click on these channels here, you'll see on the left hand side the ARP shows up straight away. So originally you can control the resolution from here when I didn't make this, this had not been made. So resolution, right, so, and I'll turn that down a tiny bit. So you got resolution and you got snap to, and basically these 3 things, and even direction you can control from here. So if I go random, it'll just choose one of these at random and put it up. So every time one of these comes up, it just puts the other one down, and that's basically the way I built the whole thing. So you can control, if you want different resolutions, you can control and have whatever resolution you want from there. Length doesn't matter, because every time a note comes up, it just puts the other note down, which actually puts one of these channels down. Snap to, that's kind of just matters when you're sort of playing live and stuff like that. So if I get rid of this and just mute this MIDI region, what I've done is, what is it? It's C8 controls the first one. So if you're on this channel here, press C8, bang. Next one down, D8, and then so on. So you can sit there and play. You can actually mute this MIDI region out and choose which one of these plays. And as you've just seen, like, it doesn't matter how fast you hit these buttons or these notes, they're all going through the actual arpeggiator. So the actual resolution really counts there. So like if you set it to 1 bar, press play, doesn't matter how fast, you hit it, the resolution waits for the next bar to actually jam that button in, or that note, which goes to your channel. So basically that's sort of the way I've made it, and then literally just duplicated, times it by 4. So that's why 1, 2, 3, 4 is ARP 1, 5, 6, 7, 8 is the ARP 2, and then so on, like so 9, 10, 11, 12 is to ARP 3, and then the last 4 channels is ARP 4. But as you can see in this project, I've pretty much only loaded audio to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8. Right, so in saying that, now if we go to the control panel that I've made, or control box, we'll start with these buttons here. So these buttons actually mute, as you can see, mute the channels themselves. So that's for the first 4, that's for the second 4, so on and so on and so on. So yeah, just go down. This is for the last 4. It just mutes them out, so nothing's going on. So we'll mute them again. Right. We'll move to the right. So ARP on and off. This actually turns the ARP on and off. So if we unmute that again, because it relies on MIDI, the actual MIDI notes to be working. So press play. As you can see, it's working there. And if you press this on, it's actually on, which it's this actual switcher is actually directing the ARP from this page to the environment that I've made. So they're all off at the moment, but if you turn it off, see how this one switches down. Now this doesn't work. Turn it on, now it works. Turn it off, it's just going to stay there forever. And as I said before, if you start, even if you play notes now, they won't work because this actual switcher is controlling all the data from this page to go into the ARP. So this has to be up, which is on. And again, this is just a button that goes to that switcher to turn it from the top one, which is on, to off. And then right. So up direction. So that's on now, and this knob here actually controls your ARP direction for that first one. So that's why I've laid it all out like this to make it a bit more simple. So you've got, you know, down, up, and all that sort of stuff. And if you go to here, saying down now, auto, as you can see, it switches here as well, which is the actual ARP on this channel. So all this is routed into this. Turn it up again, up and down, let it go, and up and down. So we'll go to random. It says random now. Press play. Which is half the reason why I made this thing, because I got sick and tired of chopping different loops and having all the things that I thought, or the little noises where I thought they should be. So I just made it, so I just did shit randomly, and then you can record it out later. Right, we'll move on. What have we got next? Okay, so ARP select. This selects which ARP is actually working at that one time. So if we unmute these other channels, and at 0, it's making ARP number 1 work, which is on these 4. Move it up 1, and as you can see, all these switch down. So this one's off now. This one's on. These two are off because I've made these. As soon as they switch down, they're actually on. So this one now is going to, this actual switcher is going to nothing, and this one was going to nothing when it was at 0, but now it's going to be working, and then it's going to go to nothing again, and then the same, so on and so on. So this one will have to be at 3, this one will have to be at 4, I think it was. Nothing's working out. Let's go. So again, so this one's working. So if we switch down to the next one, now the other one should be working, which you can see as they're working there. Switch to the next one. Now it's these ones that are on. And then switch down to the last one. Now these ones are working. So basically I've made this knob. Basically, so when you turn it around, it just switches from, you know, one ARP's working to the next, to the next, to the next. And the good thing about the way I've hooked up these on and off switches, if you switch it on, that's on, now that's off. So if you switch it on, and switch it on, and switch it on, now all of them should be working at the same time, as you can see there. Which sometimes if you've got, you know, different resolutions going on, it could be cool, or it could be really messy. Again, you might not even need this amount of tracks, which I haven't even got to yet. But I just thought it'd be cool to make something that's a bit more than just the simple 4-channel thing that I had to start with. Right, so what do we go to now? Covered that. Right, so and the way I've actually plugged it all in and hooked it all up. So this one here, I've just told you then, chooses which ARP turns on and off. So we'll just switch it back to the first one. Now to control that via a MIDI controller, basically the way I've hooked it up is, so this knob here is actually choosing what number it controls this. So go over to your MIDI controller, grab any old knob, and as you can see, the knob I'm grabbing now is 85. So we turn this to 85. There you go. So now that knob, oh, it's on 86, 85. Yeah, come on, get to there. Yep, 85. So now that knob is hooked straight into this one. So this is what I've been routing lately, so it just makes it easier for you to control anything that's actually going on. So press play. Now that one's going to stop. Now this one's going to turn on. And turn it back again. So now just the first one's working. Right, so that just makes it 10 times easier for you to control what ARP is actually working at that time, because all these ARPs go through these switches and then so on. So if they're turned off, that's going to stop working, but it'll stop and stay on the last audio channel that it used to be on. Now, so the ARP actual direction, I've done that. Sorry, we'll go to ARP time. So ARP time, I've done that for it as well. So this knob here actually controls what number that controls the ARP time. So if I tweak, this knob up here, as you can see, it says 70. Change this to 70. Right, now when I tweak this, it actually changes the resolution up to 16, 8, 4 second, and full bars. So press play again. It's going in 1 bar. Change it to half. 8 and 16ths. And what I've done is I've actually chopped out all the, and as you can see, like when I turn it, it's changing the resolution on the actual ARP here, the physical ARP. And I've cut out all the triplets and anything else that's too fast, just because I think, complete bars all the way up to 16ths is still playable over 4 audio channels, and some of them aren't. If you need to do other resolutions, you can just change them from here. So like if I press play again, change resolution to something way too fast. As you can see, it still works, but I haven't hooked that up to that knob because I think some of them aren't really that good for anything. As you can hear, that's way too fast. So just go back, and again, just use that same knob, and you can see an actual reference here of what it's doing. Right, so move on again. ARP direction itself, I've done the same thing again, so I'm going to use a slider this time. So grab a slider, so this one here, I'll just grab this one here, so it's saying 16. Move this knob to 16. Right, now that actually changes the direction of the first ARP. So press play again. Now I'll go to random. Change the actual resolution of it. A bit faster. Bit up and down, goes backwards and forwards. Up, down, 2. They've just got all their different, down, it's going to go down. Up, it's going to go back up. Up, down, auto. They just do all their own little things. But so that's basically the easiest way of controlling it from your controller. So whatever you tweak on your controller. So if I, as you've just seen, if I tweak this, shows you what number in the middle of this little window, what that is, what that fader is. So if I go to the next one, my next fader, if I want to control the next random, the next up direction, so I just moved my fader up and down, and as you can see, it's spitting out control messages, MIDI channel number 1 as 17. So I change this to 17. 17. Now that's controlling that. And basically that's the way I've set the rest of them up. So I've already set these other ones up. So, you know, that was 70. My next knob was 71, I think. Hold on. Yeah, and as you can see, that's controlling that one. And my next one across is 72. It's controlling that one. And 73, controlling that one. So basically that knob there and these knobs here, and this knob is to set the actual value that your controller is sending, so you can actually control the values on this screen. As you see, like, now I think that's actually almost everything that I've done on this whole entire environment. And the reason why I've added different bits and pieces, so like this actual control itself, is so if I actually, sorry, I knew that. So this one obviously, you know, mutes it all and stuff like that, on, off. So I mean, like now you can actually turn them all on and have them all playing, or you know, gating in between each other and stuff like that, and they're all going to work and do some random shit. And I've thrown some little notes up here, so you know, C8 reaches, you know, like audio 1. Where are we? Oh, you've got to actually be clicked on these channels for your notes to be working too. So as you can see there, these are all working now. And if they're all actually turned on, which it doesn't actually matter, but if they're all turned on, so now if you highlight all these MIDI channels, each of these notes should, and they're not. So each of these notes should actually be going to all different things, but it's not working, and it's okay. Either way, if you're on one single one, it actually is. Maybe I think all the records have to be on, possibly. Shift, shift, shift. Maybe this will work. There we go. So now every time you hit C8, the very first audio channel on each one is going to come up, as long as they're actually on. There we go. Next one, next one, next one. And as I said before, if you've got these muted out, just the actual MIDI clips, you can and as I'm hitting that, they're following the actual resolution, so each resolution. So yeah, let's swap them all to, let's grab the controller and just swap them all back to fucking, you know, 1 bar at a time, so they all change together, right? So and highlight them all again, I think. Okay, so to control them all, the record on each one of these has to be turned on, but if you turn them ones off, it's only going to work on one channel. And as you can hear, it's snapping to 1 bar. So like as I'm hitting it, it's not changing it straight away. Which is the whole reason why I wanted to make something like this, so it takes the quick brain work out of having all your little chops on time, because the arpeggiator follows the actual arrange page, and if you're a bit loose and hit the button at the wrong time, it's not just going to quickly snap to that, it's just following the actual up. Alright, I think I've almost covered pretty much everything, man. And if you've got any questions or if something's not working, just get back to me, man, and I'll figure it out straight away. It's not very hard. And I hope you enjoyed the whole environment, bro.